So you've probably already seen the story that says a UFO crashed in Las Vegas and 10-foot aliens are hanging out in my backyard. It's a story that quickly spread everywhere. If you haven't heard about this story, you're probably living in a cabin in the woods in Montana. Anyways, so let's dive into this stupid story. So on the evening of June 7th, Las Vegas local news channel 8 News Now released a report saying, Las Vegas family claims to see aliens after several report something falling from the sky. The events, as reported, go like this. On April 30th, around 11:50 p.m., a body cam worn by a Las Vegas police officer captures a meteor-looking object acting exactly like a meteor flying in the sky. 40 minutes later, past midnight on May 1st, some kid calls 911 and says a UFO fell from the sky and that 8-foot or maybe 10-foot aliens were hanging out in his backyard.
911 emergency.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
The police show up, look around, investigate, and find nothing. No crashed UFO, no aliens in the backyard. So where did the aliens go? Did they just run away? If they did run away, where'd their crashed spaceship go? Did they maybe get back inside their crashed spaceship and fly away? And if their crashed spaceship was working fine enough for it to fly away, why didn't the aliens just do that before? Why were they just chilling in this kid's backyard? Were they calling their spaceship insurance company? Anyways, so the police found nothing. No evidence to support any of this. And so that's the end of this story, right? Wrong. The day after this one story from a local news station in Las Vegas, basically every news outlet on planet Earth runs with the story. They just run with it. Aliens in the backyard? Yeah, that makes sense. Let's print it. And it's not like most of these new articles did any additional journalism. They just basically copy-pasted the 8 News Now story. See? According to 8 News Now. Not according to us. According to them. This is a very common tactic in lazy modern journalism, and especially with all the UFO nonsense. We're not saying it. They're saying it. Click here for aliens. Clicks equal ad sales, so click it. Just click it. No one seemed to be doing their own investigating, just copying and pasting a story. Oh, wait, they said they sent an email. Oh. Okay, so let's analyze 5 things. The police video of the object, the official police statements, this circle thing, the 16-year-old kid, and George Knapp. First, this object. Okay, so 40 minutes before the 911 call about the aliens, this object flies through the sky. And if you're sitting there thinking, by golly, that looks just like a magnesium meteorite, that's because it looks exactly like a magnesium meteorite. Different meteorites have different colors depending on what it's made of. Magnesium meteorites burn blue. And if you look at the timestamp on the police video, it matches exactly the time when the American Meteor Society received several reports of a meteor over Utah, Nevada, and parts of California. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Second, the official police statements. From the get-go, the police said their investigation found no evidence to support the claims of crashed UFOs or aliens in the backyard. In a statement to me, the Las Vegas Police Department says, on May 1st, 2023, at approximately 12:29 a.m., LVMPD dispatch received a call about a suspicious situation. Officer conducted a preliminary investigation and closed the event as unfounded. Unfounded means having no foundation or basis in fact. It's a professional way of saying it was all bullshit. And the police determined the case was bullshit 5 weeks before the first news story even broke. Third, the circle thing. 8 News Now claims this circle in the kid's backyard is where the alien UFO crashed.
In the middle of the yard where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
This doesn't really look like where a speeding, flaming spaceship crashed. You'd think there'd be more of, I don't know, like a crater, burn marks. But luckily, we don't have to trouble ourselves with that silly logic, because if you use Google Earth, you see this same circle was already there at least a year before this UFO story. Skipping through the months on Google Earth shows that it stays there. So if the circle was already there throughout 2022, a UFO obviously didn't make the circle in May 2023. Basically, no other media outlet noticed this either. They're just reporting that the circle came from aliens. Fourth, so days later, this 16-year-old kid under the YouTube username Alien Society 51, red flag, uploads a video and says he was the one who saw the aliens in his backyard and made the 911 call. But there's a couple problems with his story. The kid says he was out with his dad working on a car when the UFO crashed. He says both he and his dad saw the aliens together in the backyard. But when the police show up, Dad's in his pajamas and says he didn't see anything, and that it was only the kids that saw something.
Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
Contradiction. The kid also says both he and his mom saw the aliens in the backyard. But in the police video, the mom says she didn't see anything.
Did you see it? No?
Contradiction. A month before all this viral news, the kid did a podcast where he says the UFO caused the circle thing to appear in his backyard, and that the circle wasn't there before the UFO. We've already demonstrated that this is factually wrong. Finally, the kid went on TikTok to claim that Netflix wants to make a documentary about his backyard aliens. Oh. Fifth, and finally, the man behind the curtain in all this is George Knapp. Knapp is a long-time UFO and paranormal enthusiast. He's quite the celebrity among UFO believers, appearing at UFO festivals, UFO entertainment conventions, UFO movies, and so on. He's also the main UFO reporter for 8 News Now, the original news source of this whole story. He's the guy who said the crashed UFO created the circle thing.
In the middle of the yard where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Which we now know is false. At the Post, I've previously reported lots of Knapp's dubious reporting and claims regarding UFO and paranormal stuff. He's written non-fiction books full of aliens, ghosts, and werewolves, and claimed it was all true, despite no evidence being presented at all. Joe Rogan even asked him about this, and forced Knapp to admit that there was no evidence to prove any of the claims in his books.
Because they weren't there with
Is there
cameras.
any evidence?
Well, no, not really.
And just recently, on his own UFO podcast, Knapp and his UFO sidekick Jeremy Corbell claimed that this was a gigantic spooky triangle UFO thing. Knapp then spent weeks pushing the story about this otherworldly triangle UFO, but then it was revealed it was just military flares. Oh. So to sum all this up, lots of red flags, contradictions, factual inaccuracies, and questionable motives. Simply put, a hoax.